This is section 12.4, volume of prisms and cylinders. Skim lesson 12.4 and predict 2 things you expect to learn based on the headings in the key concept boxes. One might be how to use the formula for volume of prisms, and the other, use the formula for volume of cylinders. So some review vocabulary. Fill in each blank with the correct term or phrase from lessons 12.1 to 12.3. What shape describes the cross section of this sphere? So no matter how you cut it, a sphere will always give you a cross section of a circle. An axis of a cylinder is the segment with endpoints at the centers of the circular bases. When the axis of the cone is not the altitude, meaning it doesn't form the right angle, this represents an oblique cone. The lateral area of a prism is the sum of the lateral faces. This type of paper is used to draw an isometric view of a solid. That's why it's called isometric dot paper. So we're moving away from area, and now we're going to be talking about volume. So something to remember, volume, we're now filling something. It's how much you can pour into it, what the capacity is. The units are cubed because it describes the length, the width, and the depth. First, we're going to go over volume of prisms. Complete the steps to finding the volume of the prism. So the volume formula for a prism is the area of the base, capital B, times the height of the prism. So we had capital B in our other formulas. It represents area of the base, and we said that that B can change based off of what shape the base of the prism is. Again, if it's a triangle, area of a base would be 1/2 the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle. If it was a trapezoid, the area of the base would be 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height of the trapezoid. If the base was a parallelogram, the area of that base would be the base of the parallelogram times the height of the parallelogram. If it was any sort of regular polygon, the area of the base would be 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter of that base. So again, that capital B is going to change based off of the shape of the base. So first we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem to find the area of the triangular base, B. Round to the nearest cubic unit. So we're looking at 1/2 the base times the height. Okay, in this case, we need to draw on a right angle here. We could use the Pythagorean theorem, but it does give us all 3 sides. It just failed to give us this right angle. So make sure you draw that right angle there. The base of the triangle would be 10, the height of the triangle would be 10. We're not using 14.2 because 14.2 represents the hypotenuse. It doesn't represent the base or the height of the triangle. Remember, when we're talking about the base and the height of the triangle, we're looking for the thing that forms the right angle. So 10 times 10 is 100, half of that is 50, so my area of the base is 50 inches squared. To find the volume of the prism, multiply the area of the base B by the h height of the prism. So in this case, area of the base times the height would give me 50 times, the height always connects the 2 bases, 16. 50 times 16 gives me 800 inches cubed. Remember, the units on volume are always cubed. This was units squared times units gives me units cubed. Now let's look at cylinders. Remember, cylinders and cones are always easier because the shape of the base never changes. The shape of a cylinder's base is a circle. So if we look at the volume formula and we think of it as area of the base times the height, we know it's going to be pi r squared times h. Every time. It's not going to change because the base is always a circle. So in this case, the height is what connects the two bases. That would be 10, and it gives me the radius, not the diameter, of 4. So I'll plug it in, pi times the radius squared times h. Be careful with order of operations. 4 squared times 10 times pi gives me 502.4 centimeters cubed. Okay, so we will cross out this bottom box. Let's go back to the front page of notes and fill in our two volume formulas so far. We have prism. Volume of a prism was the area of the base times the height. Volume of the cylinder was area of the base, or pi r squared, times the height. So now you'll work on section 12.4. If you have any questions, we'll go over